This one I know about now. Now we're talking. Here you go. Here is the Sherman tank. That was like the most famous tank for World War II, I think, anyway. This is an amazing piece of American history right here. This gigantic tank. Hi, this is neighbor Rich. Welcome to the channel. Today we're actually doing a little bit of traveling. We're doing something a little bit different. We are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Now you say, geez, Rich, you're in Gettysburg. Are you talking about the Civil War and you know, Lincoln and his Gettysburg Address, you know, 7 years ago? And the answer is no. Even though Gettysburg is very historical in the history of the United States, it's not really why we're here. And it was actually in Gettysburg where the most bloody battle ever happened during the Civil War. And it all had to do with, you know, taking advantage of, you know, the landscape and everything. The South was coming up, the North wanted to stop them, and this is where they met, here in Gettysburg. But that's not why we're here today. Today, we're actually here because of a World War II museum. It's called the American Experience, and I'm really excited about seeing this building and seeing what's inside. The reason is because of this. And you know, I'm not a big history buff, but I'm not trying to ever be ignorant of history either. A lot of Americans have given their lives for the causes of you know, letting slavery end and stopping the Nazis. And you know what, even though, you know, those things seem kind of distant in a way, happening a while ago, we can't ever forget. And so with that, you know, I would really like to see what's in this World War II museum. And so we'll go inside. So even though it's a little bit different for the channel, I hope you stay with me, and I hope you get to learn a little bit something and have a little fun with me today. So the World War II experience, here we go. So let's head inside. And right away we see my buddy Adam. Hey Adam, how's it going?
Good, how are you, Rich?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good to see you.
Thanks for inviting me in.
Absolutely.
So this is awesome. I'm looking at just the lobby that you have here, and you've got these amazing Jeeps. I'm looking at this and it's just crazy. What are these? I mean, you know everything about these. I'm so impressed by your knowledge.
So first of all, welcome to the World War II American Experience.
Thank you.
We've been open for a little over a year, and we like all things World War II. So whether it be the Jeep, local history of different veterans in the area, we try to cover that both on the battlefront and the home front, talk about one of America's largest events, one of the biggest conflicts in the whole world's history here. So we're trying to pay homage to all the people that sacrificed
that's awesome.
What they had during that time.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
we've got the Jeeps. I like Jeeps
I see these Jeeps. These are so cool.
I think everybody likes Jeeps. So we've got some interesting ones here. We've got the 1941 American Bantam BRC-40. So what all does that mean? BRC, Bantam Reconnaissance Car. Let me backtrack. American Bantam was a car company from Butler, Pennsylvania, on the western end of Pennsylvania. And
wow.
they were one of the first ones, actually the first one to make a prototype of this vehicle that the government needed. They needed a small 4x4 recon vehicle.
Yeah.
And Bantam jumped on that, and two versions before this, they came up with a design. The government liked it, and this is their third version, which they built a little over 2,000 of.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Bantam wasn't a big enough company to make enough for the war effort, so Ford Motor Company
made these.
Willys Overland came in.
Willys are what's kind of known as the classic there for sure.
Exactly, but it all stems back from Bantam. So what happened was Ford took the blueprints from Bantam along with Willys. Ford had this prototype. Willys came out with this as their second version, and the government said, we like that one the best. And that's where we see the classic World War II Jeep with the trademark grille, which is actually a Ford design.
Wow.
Which is a little known fact. So between Ford and Willys, they each built about 300,000 of these Jeeps.
Wow.
And these two are special because they have the original tires, paint, tops, seats, never been apart, completely unrestored, under 6,000 miles and under 3,000 miles.
Wow.
Brand new in the crate at the end of World War II.
Whew, wow.
So very hard to find in that condition.
Yeah. And what's this one? This one's painted a little bit. This is a little different. What is this?
Yeah, this one's kind of funny looking. So this is 1946.
Okay.
It's a Willys. It's
Oh, yeah, I see it.
2A. It is the first year of the civilian Jeep.
Oh, this was a civilian Jeep. Okay, there's some information on it.
So Willys took the Jeep platform and converted it for civilian application and then sold it to the public following World War II.
I'm already amazed at what is here at the World War II American Experiences Museum. And, you know, Adam is just being a fantastic host. But, you know, honestly, I mean, this place is amazing. And I know we've got a lot more to see. But, you know, how did your family get involved with this? I mean, this is just an amazing undertaking. And I'm so impressed. Absolutely, 100%.
Well, thank you, Rich. So both my parents have a great appreciation for the Second World War, and my dad had grown up knowing World War II vets, and he was in the heavy-duty truck business. So when you mix big trucks and World War II history, you get military vehicles and a love for that history and appreciation for what this country did. And both my parents thought it'd be a good idea to share this with the public and keep the history alive and talk about what this country did at that time. It's pretty amazing what happened in the time period from 1941 to 45. People came together and produced, you know, vehicles of victory and the arsenal of democracy, and we were able to save the world. So
Yeah.
what we have here is now a full-blown museum, 501c3 nonprofit, and we're trying to keep the history alive, as unfortunately the greatest generation is dwindling these days. But fortunately, we have still a lot of them that come in and have been able to see this and are good friends.
Yeah.
So that's very important to us.
This is awesome. And you know what? This is amazing too, because, you know, it wasn't just men. You know, honestly, it was a full effort by everybody. And here's some of the women that just would be right there with the American Red Cross. And this is a vehicle. This is an interesting vehicle, because this is what the American Red Cross and the I guess the USO would kind of do, is hand out coffee and donuts, and of course Hershey's chocolate bars.
Exactly. Yeah, those are copies of the World War II chocolate bars right there.
Wow.
So the American Red Cross had about 80 of the GMC trucks like we see here with this body on the back that went into Normandy after D-Day, and they are each operated by 3 female volunteers who are Red Cross members.
Yeah.
And they would service the units coming off the lines and boost their morale with a cup of coffee and a smile and a donut. So
wow,
that went a long ways. No originals exist of these trucks, so a great team here. We replicated this last year. And
that's
what
awesome.
is really neat is all the signatures on here of World War II vets that have been in. And
yeah,
Bert Windsor was a good friend. He just passed away yesterday.
Oh,
great
sorry
man,
to hear that.
First Special Service Force.
Wow.
But a lot of great people on here, and
that's
a lot
amazing.
of them are still with us and have been in and come in to see us. So
yeah,
we appreciate that.
That's awesome. Red Cross played a huge part in trying to keep the troops, you know, not only with higher morale, but also, you know, obviously there were ambulances, and you know, there were a lot of wounded. Even though, you know, during World War II, you know, there were, you know, over 400,000 deaths, there were just as many, if not more, that were actually wounded during World War II. But these are some of the vehicles that were right there. And this is so cool. I'm looking at all this, and here's a wrecker that I guess was used to, if one of these vehicles got disabled for some reason or another, they could just come along and hopefully pick it up and get it back in running condition.
Yeah, any general lifting, pulling engines, recovering vehicles, you name it. Trucks like this were there to get the job done.
Yeah, yeah. And tell me about this Indian, though. This is amazing. Wow. Yeah, look at this.
This is one of my favorite vehicles here. It's a fully unrestored 1943 Indian 741. Original paint, leather, even has the original Willard battery.
Wow.
Indian spark plug made by Edison.
Wow.
And this was parked for, let's see, several decades in John W. Strauss's garage in New York State. And Strauss was an executive with Macy's. His grandparents actually went down on the Titanic, Isidore and Ida Strauss.
My.
So a tremendous history there that's not even related to this bike's military service.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting. So then you've got some engines, and show you the size of these engines. They're just gigantic. They were put out. Here's another motorcycle. Yeah, go ahead.
That engine back there is 1,100 cubic inches.
Wow.
That is a Hall Scott 440 gas-powered engine.
Wow. Yeah. And then you had, because there was breakdowns and things like that, we had to have mobile mechanics and
Absolutely.
people that could actually do some work out in the field because, you know, we were at war. So what'd you have here?
This is a shop truck. It's a full mobile machine shop on wheels on a GMC 2.5-ton chassis. There's only about 12 of these known to exist in the world. We think this is the most complete version.
Wow.
This came back from Belgium. And essentially, if a vehicle in a convoy broke down, if somebody blew an engine on a tank, this truck was there behind the lines with a team of GIs who could rebuild the engines, rebuild the vehicles, send them back out for their different uses.
Yeah.
You could rebuild an engine, like I said, with the equipment on board. You've got an oxyacetylene outfit, lathe, grinder, its own generator to power everything.
Wow.
All sorts of tools.
Yep.
Anything you can imagine to keep a motorized unit going.
Wow. American ingenuity, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
Got to be impressed. Now this one I know about. Now, now we're talking. Here you go. Here is the Sherman tank. That was like the most famous tank for World War II, I think, anyway. This is an amazing piece of American history right here. This gigantic tank. I don't know. What can you tell us about it, Adam?
It was definitely the mainstay for our armored forces, the Sherman. So we've got two of them here, both from 1945. They each weigh about 33 tons. So
wow.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
5-man crew on both. This one's unique. It has a 105 millimeter howitzer main gun.
Wow.
So a good anti-infantry weapon. This one was built by Chrysler. So we actually have tanks that were made by each of the big three automakers.
Okay, so this one was made by Chrysler.
That's right.
And then what are we doing here? What's this one?
That one was built by Ford.
This is an M36 Jackson, built by Ford. Look at the length of that barrel. My goodness.
That's a 90 millimeter gun.
Wow, with a machine gun mounted on top. All of these had machine guns mounted on top, actually. That's amazing. So this one was built by Ford. And then you have some kind of a transport? Is that what this is?
That is an artillery prime mover called a high-speed tractor.
Wow.
It might not look fast, but it'll do about 30 miles per hour with a large gun behind it, which was a lot faster than the predecessor, which were essentially construction crawlers like a caterpillar pulling a gun.
Yeah.
Very slow.
Wow.
And here we have another Sherman.
Yeah, this is another Sherman. So cool. Wow. 1945. M4A2 Sherman tank with a 75 millimeter.
76.
70. Oh, yeah, I see it. Eyesight.
No problem.
Wow. One of the things they have here is a gift shop, and of course it's really laid out well with a lot of interesting artifacts and books and things that you can get. But one of the things that caught my eye right away is this one, which is famous quote. At the Battle of the Bulge, the Germans wanted the U.S. troops to surrender, and Brigadier General Tony McAuliffe had a one-word answer. That was nuts. And the Germans didn't understand what that meant. And so it delayed the battle just long enough for the American troops to get their ducks in a row so that they could move forward and win the Battle of the Bulge. Amazing American history. You know, we're actually going to fire up one of these trucks and take it for a little spin outside. A World War II convoy truck. With a .50 caliber machine gun. This was the Pennsylvania Roller. Wow. I guess they had these convoy trucks with the 50 millimeters every third one or so to try to protect the convoy.
Yeah, 50 caliber, yeah, in case of enemy airplanes.
Wow. Let's take this for a spin. All right, General, are we ready for some action?
We're ready.
We're ready? Oh my gosh. Getting into this thing. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Wow. Can you imagine just riding through the fields in Normandy or whatever, trying to protect the troops? Look at this shifter too. Man, oh man. You know, it actually is riding reasonably comfortable. I thought this would bounce a whole lot more.
These are great trucks to drive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They built about 600,000 of these GMC trucks.
Did they? Wow. I gotta tell you, this is a heck of an experience. All right, General, we're keeping an eye out for those Nazis. Let's make sure that we do what we need to do to protect American lives. Here we go. Well, that'll pretty much do it for this episode of Neighbor Rich. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you actually learned a little bit of something about World War II and their vehicles. And, you know, honestly, a big thank you to Adam and his family for opening up the doors for me and letting me see all this. But, you know, here's the thing is that, you know, I hope you are in the Pennsylvania area some point around Gettysburg. And if you get a chance, please visit the World War II American Experience Museum. There's the website, www.visitww2.org. And this is a nonprofit organization, and it's absolutely amazing. This is worth a trip to go see. So anyhow, that'll do it for this episode. And what I'd like to do is, as always, I'd like to leave you with something positive. And you say, geez, Rich, you know, how do you stay so positive all the time? Well, you know, honestly, the truth is, you know, I have my problems and down days just like everybody else. But one of the things that I definitely wanted to let you know, and I think it's a secret to life, is that, you know, I am a Christian. I do believe Jesus is the way. And you can choose to believe what you want in life. But honestly, life is better when you know Christ. And so I really encourage you to spend some time in prayer. Look what you can do about your life, because honestly, that is the way. And I really encourage you to do that. Hopefully you enjoyed this upload. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you in the next one.